welcome to the Restore It Ralph channel. Today I'm going to be working on Dirty Harry using some of the new features that I've installed in the last year and getting it ready for a drag strip appearance at Test and Tune very soon. This is Dirty Harry, my 1984 Dodge Diplomat with a EFI 5.9 Magnum swapped in it and a GT45 turbo. I put this car together in 2020 and have been working on it slowly ever since. It came together very quickly in 2020, but slow improvements have made it pretty fun, and it's gotten a lot faster over the years. I built this car to have a unique sleeper, and I think I definitely have that. The vibe of this car is pretty sedate, and when it wakes up, boy, it really does hurt some feelings, I think. It could always be faster, but you're never satisfied with how fast they are. So underneath the hood is a 5.9 Magnum out of like a 97 Dodge Ram truck. It is a totally stock engine. I rebuilt it last winter, and it has stock rings gapped for boost. It's got a stock camshaft, and it does have 1.7 rockers on it. I did forget about that. I had those on the old 5.2 that was in it, so I used them on this one. So pretty close to stock. What is not stock is the turbo. Now this is the second turbo that's been on the car. This is an On3 Performance GT45. The first turbo that I used in 2020 was an eBay Max Speeding Rods GT45. So eventually that turbo blew up actually earlier this year. That is not ideal. There's a video on the channel showing that and installing the new turbo. This really has been a big year for Dirty Harry. So over the winter, I installed a Holley Terminator X injection system, along with a Hughes intake manifold. And with help from Ryan at Holley, I was able to put together some small block Chevy fuel rails and maintain the multi-point fuel injection instead of going with a throttle body fuel injection. This thing actually picked up 38 horsepower on the chassis dyno with those improvements. These numbers are something to be excited about. The turbo installation on this car was my first ever, still is, and it was all fabricated by me. So I have stock truck exhaust manifold pointed backwards, and it goes into fabricated Y pipe that goes over and mounts the turbo over on this side. Knockoff wastegate, got a hand-me-down blow-off valve, got an eBay intercooler that I actually replaced this spring because the turbo blew up and I didn't want to have bits and pieces get into the engine. I was really lucky when that happened. Look at that. This car has been slowly improving over the years. When I first put it together with the 5.2 Magnum and the turbo setup, it ran like a 1420 at 105 or something like that. In the last year, it has really improved quite a bit. It went from running 1320s, 1330s, something like that, at 107 with the 5.9 Magnum, to now finally this spring it ran a 1282 at 112. So that was big mile an hour, big improvement. I got to get this thing off the line better. one way to try and do that was to install a looser torque converter. So I got that done probably about a month ago. I haven't really had a whole lot of time, or didn't take the time to go through and tune it and take it to the drag strip. It's been very hot here, and then of course I got myself into a paint project in the middle of it, so that's all my fault. But I'm hoping that with a little bit of tuning and the new improvements, this thing should run a little bit faster. So I want to try it today and get some stuff done and make that a possibility. Some of the things that really make me happy about this build is the fact that it has got a full interior that's in decent shape. It's got some little touches down here, like a tissue box holder that covers my fire extinguisher. I just Velcro's on there, so that way kind of keeps the sleeper persona alive. Cup holder here with some old man tobacco. One of the recent additions was a Holley Pro Dash, and I really like this thing. It's pretty slick. When I start the car up, there's a couple different screens that I've got on there, and I can actually log from this, but it doesn't really like stick out too bad from the stock dash. I do have some other gauges over here that are mismatched and whatnot. 85-mile-an-hour speedometer that probably needs to be replaced at some point. Speed hut tack, and actually the HVAC still works except for the AC. It was time to start doing some data logging and tuning, so I just used my laptop. It was easier to data log with that, so that way I could look at the data logs and then adjust the tune right away. Got home and looked at the data logs. My first order of business was to adjust the rev limiter. I kicked it up to 6,200 RPM. The way I really fixed the rev limiter problem is making it to where the car does not rev that high. So I adjusted the throttle valve cable on the transmission, so that way it's not going to shift at 6,000 RPM. It's going to shift at like 56, 5,700, and then that way it doesn't wind it so tight. This engine doesn't make a whole lot of power from 5,500 to 6,000, so there's no use revving it that hard. Everything else seemed to be looking good. Air-fuel ratio was good, around 12 pounds of boost at the top, upper limit, and that seemed to be what the car's always been at, so I'm going to leave that go. Time to make my adjustments and go verify if I fixed the issues. this thing against the converter, I was able to build 1.4 pounds of boost, which has never happened before, especially on my slick driveway. Logging while using the two-step, I was able to see 2.5 pounds of boost. That should really help me get off the line and should equate to quicker times at the drag strip. We shall see, hopefully soon. The car is running great. I really would like to get some performance numbers on it. Unfortunately, I've spent the better part of the afternoon looking for my draggy, and I cannot find it. So as soon as I find it, I will be putting some numbers down and comparing it to the previous runs on this car. Set up a safety in here, so the hotter it gets, the more timing it pulls. It was at 30 degrees before, now we're at 224 degrees, which is ungood, but at least it's starting to pull timing. Put this car in the shade so I can cool off, and so can it. A couple spirited street pulls. This thing wants to heat up, but it is a very hot day today, so I don't blame it. I'm overheating too. Went and put some fresh 93 octane in the car. Did a couple logs with it. It's still getting hot, it's still overcharging. I need to look into that. Today I could take it to test and tune. I am not going to. It is a very hot day out, and I still got a couple issues I'd like to sort before I actually take it there. I think that's gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna look through my data logs, see if there's some adjustments I can make, and get this thing ready for maybe next week. Thanks for watching. To keep up with updates on Dirty Harry and other projects on the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.